Windsor man admits to manslaughter after a fatal shove down the stairs. The cost of care.
The whole healthcare system from top to bottom is underfunded and understaffed and under-resourced.
How operating in the red affects patient services. And Poor Without Borders.
Every time we buy a bottle of wine from another country, we're handing them dollars. It'd be much better if we could hand each other dollars.
Wineries push to scrap interprovincial red tape.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. We begin tonight in provincial court, where a Windsor man has pleaded guilty to manslaughter for pushing a man down a flight of stairs. 46-year-old Kevin Harris had been charged with second-degree murder in the death of 53-year-old Walter Ronald Renew. He died at home on Wyandotte Street West after falling down a flight of stairs on October 16th of 2025. Court learned today at the time Renew was in a relationship with Harris's ex. On that day, Renew came to Harris's home and confronted him over alleged drug use. The men got into a fight, with one witness telling police she heard someone say, "Get out," followed by several loud thumps. Renew was pushed down 7 steps and hit his head on the bottom landing. He was sent to hospital, where he later died. The autopsy identified the cause of death as blunt impact head trauma. Harris initially fled the scene, but later turned himself into police, where he has been in custody ever since. A sentencing date has not been determined. 2 people were taken to hospital, and police are still investigating that collision between a school bus and a minivan. It happened Tuesday afternoon on southbound Howard Avenue at the westbound on-ramp to EC Row Expressway. Police closed the busy road during the afternoon rush hour, which caused a significant traffic backup. Police say both drivers were taken to hospital, but none had life-threatening injuries. And that fire yesterday afternoon on Currie Avenue caused $200,000 in damage. Fire officials say unattended cooking is the cause. A homeowner and dog were able to escape safely, and 4 people are now displaced. Essex County OPP alleges a 61-year-old man on bail for sexual assault charges has breached his court order instructions. Police are not identifying the accused, but say he was charged in March of this year. The man will remain behind bars pending another bail hearing. In other news, hospital patients across the Erie-St. Clair region are waiting longer for care than they were 5 years ago. That's according to a new report which shows all hospitals in the region were running deficits last fiscal year, while emergency room wait times have climbed sharply at Windsor Regional Hospital. CTV's Sanjay Maru joins me now in the newsroom with more on this story tonight. Sanjay.
Stefanie, this report is calling for an additional $3.2 billion in hospital funding across Ontario, along with a province-wide health workforce strategy aimed at recruitment and retention. It should be noted the province has previously pointed to the future Fancy Family Hospital as part of its long-term plan to improve access to care in the region, including more inpatient beds and a larger emergency department. But the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives argues new infrastructure alone will not solve the problem without enough operating funding and staff to support it. If you head into the emergency room at Windsor Regional Hospital, it takes far longer to see a physician now than it did 5 years ago. That's according to the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, which says chronic underfunding and staffing pressures are making it harder for hospitals to keep up with patient demand.
Ontario funds its hospital system at the lowest per capita rate in the country. It funds its overall health system at the lowest per capita rate in the country. And this is not a distinction that I think Ontario wants to have.
At Windsor Regional Hospital, the time for 90% of ER patients to see a doctor rose from 4.7 hours in 2021 to 8.7 hours in 2025. And for those who need a bed, the wait increased to 34 hours, up from nearly 20 hours 5 years prior. The report also found every hospital in the Erie St. Clair Health Network were operating in deficit last fiscal year.
What that means is that hospitals are, rather than thinking about how to expand services, how to increase staffing levels, they are concerned about how to reduce costs.
But according to the local paramedics union, funding is just part of why ER waits are so high, not just here, but across Ontario. If requested, paramedics are legally required to transport patients to the ER, even if a complaint is minor, and even if paramedics offer alternative options for care. QP 2974 says many elect to be transported by ambulance because they believe it results in faster ER care.
This is a common misconception. If we're not able to put them into the waiting room, that's when we're in that back hallway with them on our stretchers for a long duration until there is a bed available. But it certainly doesn't get you any faster care.
James Jovanovich says many patients end up in the ER because they feel they have few other options for care, especially after hours. Adding a lack of around-the-clock urgent care clinics and family doctors mean more people turn to the ER for issues that may not otherwise require emergency treatment.
We're certainly seeing this on the front line as far as patients seeing longer waits. It's because the whole healthcare system from top to bottom is underfunded and understaffed and under-resourced.
In a statement, the province says the claims made in the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives report are misguided. The province says it is investing more than $101 billion into healthcare this year, including a fourth consecutive 4% increase in hospital funding, while noting funding for Windsor Regional Hospital has risen more than 35% since 2018. The Ford government also points to more than 50 hospital redevelopment projects, expanded pharmacist care, and a plan to connect every Ontarian with a primary care provider by 2029.
Okay, Sanjay Maru, thank you for this. Now, this is our question of the day. Have you been impacted by hospital wait times? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked, did you complete the Statistics Canada 2026 census? Of just over 700 votes, and 90% of you say yes. As Canada looks for ways to strengthen its economy amid continued trade uncertainty with the United States, Canadian wineries say there's still a major obstacle closer to home. A new report suggests billions could be added to Canada's economy if interprovincial trade barriers facing wineries were reduced. And as CTV's Chris Campbell reports, one Essex County winery says the opportunity for growth is already here if provinces are willing to open the door.
There's a very large barrier in place, and the main barrier are the provinces.
As talk continues across Canada about removing internal trade barriers, Essex County wineries say the wine industry is still facing roadblocks.
No opportunity. Zero. Doors shut.
Steve Mitchell is president of Sprucewood Shores Estate Winery and vice chair of Ontario Craft Wineries. He says each province's liquor board still controls what wines get access to store shelves.
There are buyers that make decisions about what's brought into their province in order to sell. And the truth is that there's a very large opportunity for the buyers in other provinces to make decisions to bring in more wines from other provinces.
A new report shared with CTV News estimates increasing the market share of Canadian wine could grow the industry's contribution to Canada's GDP from $10 billion to nearly $14 billion annually. The industry wants a federal strategy and a reduced tax burden. Right now, according to Wine Growers Canada, mid-sized wineries pay on average 14 times more in excise duty than their U.S. competitors.
That means that winery in the United States has a greater chance of investing in their business, growing their business, whereas the winery in Ontario, or any place in Canada for that matter, would face a significant impact.
Mitchell says the potential benefits would extend far beyond the winery itself.
If more wines from Essex County are purchased, then that means that growers need to put more grapes in the ground. That means that wineries need to buy more tanks. It means that they need to hire more salespeople.
The federal government says it has been pushing provinces to move faster.
We think the provinces need to do more. We've talked to the provinces about moving faster.
Mitchell says there has been some progress, including a new agreement between Ontario and Nova Scotia, allowing direct-to-consumer wine shipments. But he says there's still a long way to go.
Every time we buy a bottle of wine from another country, we're handing them dollars. It'd be much better if we could hand each other dollars.
Industry leaders say removing interprovincial barriers would not only help wineries grow, but could also keep more Canadian dollars and jobs here at home. In Essex County, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us now for a first look at the weather tonight. Gary, temperatures warming up.
Temperatures warming up just in time for the long weekend. Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening, folks. We're still dealing with windy conditions and a cooler than seasonal day because of this spin of low pressure. There it is. Counterclockwise rotation. The core is just hovering over Georgian Bay, Manitoulin Island. And there's still a chance of some scattered showers, still gray and windy with those winds out of the northwest gusting to the 40s, even 50s tonight. About a 40% chance between now and midnight that we'll see rain showers. I think by around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, we are sunny, fair weather cloud, and the warm-up begins significantly Friday and beyond. I'll break down what you can expect. Could we reach 30 degrees on Victoria Day? Imagine that. It's coming up. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
The LaSalle Pickleball Association will continue having exclusive access to 3 courts throughout the week.
I found, based on my market research, that the closest competitor is based in Windsor, and they charge $60 for an hour for a court. So I said, I think there's a huge gap. I think there's a gap of 97%, which is not a big deal if we don't build, if it was the old court.
Resident Simon Jacques asked the town council on Tuesday night to consider raising the cost. Exclusive access applies to 3 courts on Front Road for certain periods in the week. The Pickleball Association pays a fee of $6.10 per hour. Over the season, this creates $1,200 in court revenue. Jacques feels the town could create more money to offset upkeep costs. Town council voted to keep the agreement at its current rate. Deputy Mayor Michael Akpana says the association provides more than revenue to LaSalle.
They're doing free training for our seniors, they're making sure that our courts are used, and they are giving back to the community. So there are some things that you can't directly assess dollar values to. From our perspective, we're doing the right thing in our community, ensuring that the courts are used and that more and more people are being brought into engaging in pickleball.
Officials with the Downtown Mission are heading out into the community.
It's very important for the Downtown Mission to get that information directly and that we can answer any questions directly rather than have any rumors or hearsay be spread around, because there's a lot of misinformation that's being spent and shared, and it's a little bit concerning for us.
It also allows the Downtown Mission to listen directly to the community.
The Downtown Mission launched its community outreach series today. Between May 19th to June 16th, they will host 5 sessions at United Churches across the city. It's a chance for residents right across the city to learn about the supports offered by the downtown charity, but also it's an opportunity to educate Windsorites as well. Now, we do want to hear from you. Do you have a good news story we should report on? Please text us at 10400. You can also send photos and video. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, police in Peel make a counterfeit bust, this time fake license plates. Then later, heroes welcomed in Ottawa as the Artemis crew are now on Parliament Hill.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. U.S. and Iranian demands to end their war remain far apart.
The conflict has cut off shipping traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, which typically carries about 1/5 of the world's oil supply. Tehran has appeared to firm up its control over the waterway, reportedly making deals with Iraq and Pakistan to ship oil and liquefied natural gas from the region. The International Energy Agency says the global oil supply will fall by around 3.9 million barrels per day this year, and more than 1 billion barrels of Middle East supply has already been lost. In Ukraine, 6 people were killed when Russia launched at least 800 drones earlier today. Dozens were also injured across the country in what the Ukrainian president says was one of the longest and largest attacks of the war. He says the attack is ongoing. Moscow targets included western regions closest to the borders with NATO countries. Poland activated its air defenses as a preventative measure, but says there was no violation of its airspace. American President Donald Trump has arrived in Beijing for a 2-day summit with his Chinese counterpart. Trump received, as you can see, a lavish welcome on the first visit by an American president to that country in nearly a decade. He is expected to ask Xi Jinping to open up China to U.S. businesses. A number of American corporate executives were also on the trip. Trump and Xi will also discuss trade, the Iran war, and U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, the democratically governed island claimed by China. A new multinational financial institution will soon make its debut in Canada with the goal of supporting defense projects. Expect to see competitive bidding coming from several cities, with Doug Ford already giving the big push to Toronto. CTV senior correspondent Judy Trin on the contenders and how this defense bank will work.
Global finance and advanced innovation.
Toronto's bid to host the new Defense, Security and Resilience Bank was launched with a glitzy video and a full-court press.
We have Team Ontario, united to support Toronto.
The new defense bank could involve 40 countries. It could hold an estimated $135 billion U.S. in assets and employ 3,500 people. Other than Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Ottawa are competing for the headquarters. Analysts say the winning city needs to have more than just financial expertise.
Good cultural sensibility. I think it needs to be able to communicate with different players in different countries.
Toronto is one of the most diverse cities on earth. People from every corner of the world come here.
The majority of the bank's member nations will be in Europe. Connections, Montreal's mayor says the city has.
The economics and the diplomacy. So we're the only city that can give both. The economic diplomacy that this bank needs.
But politics are at play. Depending on which party wins the Quebec election in the fall, there could be another referendum on Quebec's separation.
We're not going to engage in campaigns of fear, for starters. We have the strengths and the maturity to receive international organizations, bottom line.
The goal of the Defense Bank is to provide lower interest loans to smaller companies so they can develop technology and expand faster. Ottawa has dozens of innovative companies, but the capital's airport doesn't have many international flights. Not a problem with Vancouver, which could be a prime location to attract Asian nations to join.
We're the gateway to the Pacific. We actually are in the perfect time zone to bridge those gaps.
I think the headline for everybody that they need to know is that Canada will lead the world in defense finance.
The federal government has yet to lay out its criteria, nor has it set a deadline. But regardless of what city is selected, Canada is the big winner. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Peel police have arrested and charged 2 suspects accused of producing counterfeit license plates linked to criminal activity. Investigators with Peel Road Safety Services say they identified a registered online business believed to have knowingly produced and sold fake license plates linked to multiple criminal investigations across Canada, including more than 30 here in Ontario.
There's definitely a concern to the public, which is one of the reasons why we chose to investigate this. A number of these plates, as I mentioned, were involved in flight from police incidents. There are circumstances as well where we believe that these plates have been involved in collisions where the person involved in the collision fled the scene. So it's one of the main focuses on trying to shut this operation down is also to shut down the crime that's associated with these license plates.
27-year-old Tyler Matthew McLeod and 28-year-old Avery McLeod, Nolk, both of Hamilton, face several charges, including unlawfully making marks and possession of property obtained by crime. A special moment today as the Prime Minister met with the crew of Artemis 2 in Ottawa. Smiles all around, including a message about Canada's contribution to space. It was also a geopolitical moment during a time of political tension with the Americans. CTV's Amy Bergeron-Oliver takes us through a day of events for Canada's heroes.
We didn't really see this either because this is so cold.
It was a different kind of moon mission in Ottawa today.
I think we saw that crater.
The Artemis 2 crew giving Prime Minister Mark Carney and a group of students special insight into their epic 10-day lunar flyby mission. 12-year-old Louis Castro Lopez among the middle school students who got to ask the astronaut questions.
Yeah, I watched the astronauts and just to come here, to meet our school was, wow, amazing.
Fellow 7th grader Annabelle Busby Sheridan did too, and she got to hold a piece of meteorite from the moon.
It was such a privilege. I never thought, ever that I'd ever be able to meet them.
Splashdown confirmed.
The visit to the capital comes just over 1 month after the 4-person crew splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean.
We surpassed the furthest distance humans have ever traveled.
Following a groundbreaking mission to the far side of the moon that captured the world's attention. Canadian Jeremy Hansen getting a special thank you from Carney.
This is the flag that flew on the day you splashed down.
Oh, wow.
Hansen's trip into outer space was his first, and it was also the furthest any Canadian astronaut has ever traveled.
Canada very much went to space, and I rode on your shoulders.
That Canadian pride on full display at each stop in the capital, where fans, young and old, were inspired to reach new heights.
I want to be the first man, and if it's possible, to walk on Mars.
The Artemis 2 crew will now head to Montreal, where the astronauts will share more about their thoughts on the mission at the Canadian Space Centre tomorrow. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's main stock index fell today amid broad-based losses. In Toronto, the TSX lost 249 points. In New York, the Dow dropped 67, the Nasdaq gained 314. The Canadian dollar added a very modest 0.04 cents. On commodity markets, gold gained $20 an ounce and oil lost $1.16 a barrel. New honors for the smash hit Heated Rivalry. Stay with us. CTV News at 6 continues after the break and the weather forecast.
Thank you, Silvio Carlini, for sending in this great image. A lot of gardens taking advantage of the recent spring showers, but a warm-up's on its way for the long weekend. Victoria Day could see near 30 degrees. I'll break down what you need to know as we look ahead to the holiday next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Another chilly, windy day out there. Gary, I know things are going to warm up, but I do want to chat about last night, those thunderstorms. I woke up twice, which meant both of my kids came crawling into my bed.
Oh, I see. Well, as forecast, indeed, there were rumbles. Some of those rumbles through the overnight, a little later than expected, and the light showers only affected very specific parts of extreme southwestern Ontario. Some of us saw very little, if any at all. Some of us did get into some rains, no doubt, and some thunderstorm activity. Reached a high of 15. Our average high is 20, but we will be in the 20s I guarantee it as we head towards long weekend. Air quality is good. It's just breezy and cloudy. And speaking of breezy, we've seen sustained winds in the upper 20s, low 30s with gusts in the 40s, about 45, almost 50 actually, close to the noon hour. And we'll still be gusty in the 35 to say 45 range, with sustained winds not as strong in the mid-20s through to about 10, 11. Tomorrow is also a windy day and some cooler air out of the northwest. Temperatures hovering around 10 degrees or 50 degrees Fahrenheit right now. The warm spot is, well, take a look at the map. Saskatchewan, Regina at 27, Saskatoon close to about 24. And of course, the rest of the prairie's warm too. Winnipeg at 24, Calgary at 21. Meanwhile, we have been in the mid to lower teens, and this spin of low pressure has ushered in two significant boundaries that have worked their way east across the northeastern or mid-Atlantic states stateside. The good news is that the worst of it's over for us. We just remain cloudy, but notice how the winds are going to be coming out of the north and northwest. That's colder air, obviously, draped across the Great Lakes, and we will be into a bit of a clearing, but the cooler air keeps us below our average high of 20 degrees Celsius for the next 24 to say 36 hours. We're going to be slightly under the curve. We're looking at windy conditions, slight chance of very light showers, but it's windy. 12 degrees at 8, down to 11 at 10, 9, maybe 10 degrees at midnight. So where do we go from here? I'm promising warm temperatures. Take a look at our Enercare Siles 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, 17, a bit cooler, and then we're slightly above. On Friday, 21, then 26 Saturday, slight showers. Fair weather Sunday and Monday, 25, then 30. Then 25 on Tuesday, Wednesday, 18. Back to seasonal. The warm-up comes Friday through the long weekend.
Hotel Dieu Grace Healthcare is recognizing the best of the best amongst its nurses today. 3 nurses received the Jean Mans Extraordinary Nursing Care Award. Meantime, 2 others received the $1,000 Laurie DuPont bursary to continue their education. Nursing Week continues until Friday. Toronto Public Health is marking the World Cup by releasing 6 soccer-inspired designs of condoms. With hundreds of thousands of visitors expected for the tournament, the city is distributing free condoms at various locations, including the 4 Toronto Public Health sexual health clinics. Condom TO was first launched in 2014 for World Pride. The city says the initiative is aimed at promoting safe sex and connecting people with health services. The Canadian writer and director behind the television show Heated Rivalry was given the Creative Impact Award at the recent Departure Honors. Since the show debuted last year, it remains a very busy time for everyone involved in this hit show. CTV's Andrea Case reports.
З ким ти сейчас встречаешься?
Ревнуешь?
6 months ago, model and actress Ksenia Daniela Hermalova's life changed forever. When Heated Rivalry premiered on Crave back in November, it would become a global phenomenon.
It happens so fast, you know? You don't really expect, I think, these things to happen so quickly with so much momentum. But I really appreciated that it did. I think it was good that it also came out during the holidays and people were at home and they'd go on the internet and talk about it, and, you know, other people would be like, ooh, I should watch that.
You're an awesome player to watch. Yes.
In case you haven't heard, based on Rachel Reed's book, Heated Rivalry is a queer romance drama about rival ice hockey players Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov and their years-long secret relationship.
Cut. Good. One more.
The series was written and directed by Montreal's Jacob Tierney. He had read the books and DM'd author Rachel Reed.
I didn't know what I could do with it, but I knew I loved it. And I thought, you know, if I love it, maybe other people might love it too. So I just, Yeah, I just trusted my gut that I just thought it was such a great story and that it was different.
It is fitting the Toronto-born model and actress of Russian and Trinidadian descent was cast to play Svetlana Petrova, Rozanov's childhood friend and occasional love interest. All of her lines are in Russian, which is her first language.
I thought it was a really, really interesting story. I really liked how, especially the women characters were written, even though they're not the center focus, they are still part of these characters' lives, and they still feel like real people. They don't just feel like pawns to be used in their story. So I thought that was really interesting. And again, the story is so compelling and so emotional. So
the series of books is called Game Changers, and for Tierney, already a multiple award winner, the project has changed his life.
It's very nice. You know, obviously, Heated Rivalry opened up a world of opportunity for me that I'm incredibly grateful for. And yeah, it's very exciting.
This is such a bad idea. What this?
Andrea Case, CTV News.
How much pressure do you feel?
It was a busy day at the Sandwich Secondary Track today. Not one, but two WEXA records. Stay with us. We're going on the sidelines after the break.
We're on the sidelines with Bob Belichico tonight, and good news with the World Junior Summer Showcase coming to Windsor, but not so much good news about Ethan Belchez leaving.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the team to swallow, for Spitfire fans to swallow too. Ethan Belchez was only in year 2 as a Windsor Spitfire. Now he's heading to Michigan State University. The dynamics of the league is changing, and this is the first big blow Spit's GM Bill Bowler has faced since the change in the NCAA rules.
We will figure this out. We'll put a good team together like we always do, and it's news that we didn't expect here in the middle of May. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. The Spitfires have always lost players in recent years, and if we keep doing a good job and running good hockey programs, it's good for our players to go on to what they think are bigger and better plans.
It feels so normal for him, and he sees it as like, oh, I'm just here getting my work done, boys, and then I'm going to be out. And you see him, he just walks in, does his job, gets out, he moves like a pro.
The kid's working hard, too. That's Cam Bagarian, who's been watching Mason Garrett grow and now has the 13-year-old at Performance Fitness on Dougal. Now, according to his dad, Mason will be the first hockey player from southwestern Ontario to ever attend Shattuck St. Mary's, a prestigious hockey program in Minnesota. Over 90 NHL players, including Sidney Crosby, Macklin Celebrini, have gone there. Mason is excited and has dreams, but modest goals in the short term.
It's going to be the whole team. You're with the boys all day, every day. And you have not just the best hockey, but you also have the best, like one of the best schooling in the whole world. So, like, my dream's to play college sports, and I think it's a great way to set me up if I want to play college.
What an opportunity. Okay, a lot of high school action going on in the area, soccer and track and field. A lot of exciting accomplishments, too.
Too much going on there. My head's on a swivel when I go to these track meets, and, you know, it's just let it hit you. So today, a couple of records. It was a good day at Sandwich for some athletes, a couple of records, of course. But first of all, let's check out this goal by Victor Garcia of Assumption. Man, that was a good one, but I don't know what was better, the goal or the celebration that erupted after the final whistle. Kid almost wipes out running to the fence. This is hilarious. Victor's goal was the lone goal of the game. Assumption pulls off the upset, beating number 2 seeded Catholic Central 1-0. The Purple Raiders aren't scoring as big as they did earlier in the season, but are getting it done as they advance to play Kennedy next Tuesday.
Ooh. Another one.
Man, she's got a kick. Isabel Sacolo scored 4 goals against Riverside earlier this week to help Villanova advance to the AAA semifinals. Sacolo is only in grade 10, and she's an athlete playing senior ball, and she's a force. Got to watch out when she cuts across the middle because she's got a serious kick. Now, Isabel is playing club soccer in Michigan with an eye on setting herself up for a scholarship, with the window of opportunity opening up sooner than many would think.
We just had a Chicago showcase. I'm going to North Carolina in the end of May.
and our team made playoffs in July, which will be really exciting, and that's an important date as well because that's like right after June 15th, and that's like when they can, after the game, they can kind of say like, oh, you're a really good player. You know, they can talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she's a really good player. So over to LaSalle for the Wexford Track and Field Championships now. I have a couple of record performances to show you, but first, check this out. In the field, Tyler Getz with a shot put throw that sailed through the air with the greatest of ease. It looked like more than a winner. Turns out this was a record-breaking throw of 17.35 meters. Only problem is he faulted on that throw. So he promised me, he looked at the camera, says he promised me a good throw in his final attempt and delivered with a toss of 16.58 meters. That was 1.5 meters better than second-place finisher Bowden Halady. Tyler won gold, but he was bummed out and excited afterwards.
Right now, I'm feeling good, like now that I know I can do it. So now we just got to keep on working up and getting maybe, hopefully a 17 next year or next meet, and we'll see how it goes from there. Hopefully we can do some great things at OFSA. So.
It was such a good throw, too. Now, here's the junior girls' 80-meter hurdles. Alyssa Tonini of Villanova was smoking through the hurdles with precision. She clocked in at 11.74 seconds, taking a record set by Maddie Gravel of St. Joe's just 2 years ago.
This is my goal going into today, was to break Madison's record. I talked to her before the race, and yeah, it just felt good.
Villanova's the team to beat. Her teammate, Addie Rudling, herself, a big race in the junior girls 3,000. She dominated the event and took down a 44-year-old record, clocking in at 10 minutes and 8.41 seconds. Addie was 47 seconds faster than second-place Morgan Ryder of Leamington District. Her effort eclipsed Donna T-Bear's record by 7 seconds. That record was set by the Assumption Star back in 1982.
The record was originally 10:15, and I was like trying to go for it, but I wasn't sure like how I was gonna feel. But I just went for it, and it felt really good.
What about the race felt good?
Like I just felt really bouncy and like really strong.
Floating in the air, bouncy. That's awesome. Now, this right here is the home of powerlifting champions, Power Pit in Lakeshore. That's where Ron Strong pushed thousands of pounds to become a force on the powerlifting circuit. He's been all over the world and broken more records than we can count. Strong is a 15-time Canadian champ and a world champ who broke the world squat record by lifting 518 pounds as a master lifter. Stefanie, at the age of 61. Give me a break. That's so awesome. Believe it or not, he's still going strong, pardon the pun, at the age of 68.
I've always respected my body. Listen to it, I guess, is the right way to say it. When something's off, then, you know, respect what your body's trying to tell you. Take care of it. It's the only one we got. And, yeah, I don't see any reason to quit anytime soon. So I'm hoping for another 4 or 5 more good years in me.
Wow.
Imagine 4 or 5 more years.
I know. Hey, I'm not too far behind. I can do about 60 squatting.
Yeah.
What was his
518. Just that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure, you know, yeah, it's just nuts. Like I used to hang out there a lot, and I had one of their guys push me up.
Mm-hmm. Oh
yeah, bench
really?
press me. It was funny. Like, no problem. You know, $170, and these guys are like, you know, 300 pounds and just pew.
Yeah, it's so inspiring to see so many young athletes in this segment, as well as this gentleman as well. Like you said, he keeps on going strong, looks healthy.
Like,
amazing.
Think about that. He'll be 72. Many records. Like, yeah. These guys are, you know, just they're awesome to watch and just good people on top of that. And hey,
and to be able to train under him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, an experience.
Yeah,
for sure.
and he's in the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Ron Strong.
Okay, and that's On the Sidelines with Bob Belichico. We will be right back.
We want you to see the Black Keys as they ignite the Coliseum stage on their Peaches and Cream Tour October 18th. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Black Keys at Caesars Windsor, plus a $200 gift card.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. Show us you're brave in support of the Windsor Cancer Center Foundation. Rappel 170 feet from the top of the historic CIBC building in downtown Windsor. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kettner. Now, Melanie, we're talking more about the winery industry.
Yes, local producers are asking more provincial trade barriers be removed. Vineyard owners are grateful that some barriers have been removed between Ontario and Nova Scotia, for example, but they say it doesn't go far enough when lifting them all could make a huge difference nationally. Plus, they note wine consumers have been largely kept out of the loop in terms of the complications of their industry.
There are so many different rules between all our regulatory systems that it is actually very difficult to market that to a consumer and to explain what is actually going on. At the end of the day, it should be, would you like to buy a bottle of wine from your local winery? Yes, here you go, and have a good time.
We've got more from local wineries at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have some road safety tips online, Melanie, this coming from Windsor Police.
Yes, Windsor Police are emphasizing the importance of safety for all road users. Whether you are walking, riding a motorcycle or bicycle, or driving a car, police have released some road safety tips that are designed to help protect yourself and others. You can find the full list on our website. And in our social spotlight, a top dog is stealing the show on the baseball diamond.
Go get it. She is a big star here. Every time she goes out, especially the first time of the night, she gets a huge cheer from our fans. Go get it.
Omaha is the biggest star on the single-A affiliate team of the San Diego Padres, and of course fans love her. They also claim she's the only bat dog for a pro baseball team on the U.S. West Coast. Even better, she also does meet and greet after the games, posing for pictures and shaking a paw with fans.
This is great. This is going to keep fans coming back, like not even for the game, but even to get the younger fans out there to check everything out. I mean, who doesn't love a dog?
Love to know how they train a dog like that. I could not get my dog to do that, but good for this one.
Well, Mel, how can viewers submit a video for our trending segment?
Well, they have a cool video. They can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Okay, and that's what's happening now. Thank you, Melanie. A celebratory tiara and sash for a special Canadian Tire employee. We'll explain coming up after the break and weather.
Windy out there.
Hey, it doesn't matter anymore. Everyone's loving your forecast.
Well, it's not my forecast in the sense that I don't control these elements. It's my forecast in delivering the information that you need to know. And this is it right here, Stefanie. As you look towards the weekend, first of all, a couple of things. The average temperature is now 20 degrees as of today for a daytime high. That will increase by, say, 1/10 of a degree each day. We're getting close to 30 degrees potentially on Victoria Day. 17 tomorrow, fair weather. Thursday and Friday, 21 on Friday, and then mid to upper 20s Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. People are getting all excited because they're looking at the 7 days, but again, it's not going to last. It's not like we're going to leapfrog the rest of the spring season, but we are into a warm surge coming.
We'll take it for now. Okay, thank you, Gary. Travis, tonight we are heading to Chatham-Kent.
Yes, that's right, where residents are going to be getting their first look at a proposed bylaw restricting rent evictions. This dates back to the winter when an entire building reported being pushed out by a landlord looking to fix up and price up the units. We'll have the latest tonight at 11.
Okay, thank you. Finally tonight, 50 years at any job is something that's worthy of recognition. And as CTV's Ryan McDonald tells us tonight, Cape Breton woman was celebrated for her half a century of service at a store that is a Canadian staple.
Any day you wear a sash and tiara to work isn't exactly a regular work day.
Well, I've been here 50 years. I started in 1976.
Today, family, friends, and co-workers, past and present, came to the Canadian Tire in Sydney to celebrate Martha McIsaac's half-century working here.
My mother and Canadian Tire are the same age. My mother was born 1922, September. Canadian Tire started October 1922. So I think it's a little bit of synchronicity going on.
Considering this Canadian institution marked its 100th birthday only a few years ago, McIsaac has been around for nearly half of its existence.
It doesn't matter where we go. People see her and they know her as Martha from Canadian Tire everywhere.
McIsaac's daughter says not only is her mother a familiar face to generations of customers, but her loyalty to her workplace over the years has been unmatched.
I've spent many Friday evenings with her, wandering numerous other department stores that shall go nameless to do price comparisons.
I was 3 years old when Martha started working at Canadian Tire.
When the party moved upstairs to the lunchroom, there was cake.
Oh my God.
A card signed by all her colleagues, and a service pin that isn't handed out too often.
Here's a 50-year pin. This one's pretty special.
Then the woman of the hour was presented with a watch, which apparently she doesn't need because her boss says in 50 years she was pretty much never late.
I don't know, I might go for my 75 years.
I really hope that she knows how much she's loved and appreciated. And if she knows by the end of today how much her 50 years have meant to a lot of people and to a community as a whole, I think, I think it's well done.
This is 50 years.
A fitting celebration for a major milestone. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
There was no mention there of her actually retiring, so I wonder how many years she's going to keep on going for.
She said she's going to go for 75.
Yeah.
I talk about retiring a lot.
You do?
But I'm impressed. She's a dynamo. She looks great. She loves her job. She loves meeting and greeting people and helping them. Good on her, and of course, it's a good Nova Scotia story. If anyone hasn't been to Nova Scotia, we should travel our country. Great people out east, no doubt.
Yeah, it is truly gorgeous over there.
That's great.
Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast at 11.
Good night.
You're going to see me and Bob Belichico play pickleball. He says he's great. Yeah, we'll see.